Hello, good afternoon, and thank you so much for being here with us today for another one of our Beacon Career Conversations. I'm Leslie Perry from the Professional Beauty Association, and behind the scenes, we do have my colleague Paige Peterson, who's going to help us manage our chat and the Q&A. If you've been with us before, you may notice that this looks a little bit different today. We are on a new platform, and we're super excited about. You can use the chat function today to talk directly with Didi and myself. We hope to keep that chat function going and keep everyone engaged today in the conversation. So without further ado, I am so excited to have with me as my guest today, Didi Henry. She is one of our former Beacon graduates. She also this year was part of the first class of Beacon peer mentors at our class in 2020. So I'm just super thrilled, super excited to have you here. And like our guest last week, Miss Tina Allen, you are also expecting a baby girl in just about a month. So we're so excited to meet the little one when she is born as well. But thank you so much for being here, and it's so good to see you, even if not in person.
I know. I miss you so much. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can check this volume because I'm hearing some reverberation happening.
Gotcha.
So, fun fact, Tina is my hair bestie. We are BFFs. I love her. She's amazing. And she is such a wealth of knowledge that if you caught her last week, like, she's going to blow your mind with everything she knows. And I'm like, wow, I got to follow her up. Okay.
And you will be marvelous as well. Yes.
So my name is Didi Henry. I have been a hairstylist officially, like licensed hairstylist, since May of 2019. So super new, very recent. I graduated from Paul Mitchell School Asani here just outside of Atlanta, Georgia in 2019 or the beginning of 2019. And I've just kind of been like going full force ever since. This is not my first career. This is my second career. I had originally started, I did the traditional thing. I went to college, got my bachelor's degree in journalism, got my master's degree in digital marketing, and I was working in corporate America for a good 10 years. In 2016, the nonprofit that I was working at had a big restructuring, and so my position got eliminated. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So in 2012, that's when I started to kind of fall into the beauty industry as a consumer. So I had learned about the Diva cut, and I went completely natural. I did my very first big chop. I've had several since then, which is what happens when you're a hairstylist. And I also started to fall in love with makeup artistry as just a person, just doing my own makeup. The more that I learned, the more that I dug deep and started to learn new techniques, I found myself a mentor, which was actually my main salesperson at Sephora. She started to teach me things and then started to teach me about the industry. Then I started getting phone calls from friends and family members like, hey, can you do my makeup for this? Can you do my makeup for that? Because you just do your makeup really well. I didn't know what I was doing. But and once I got laid off in 2016, I was like, this passion that I have for the beauty industry, let me just roll with it as a career. And everything kind of fell into place. I started as a makeup artist specializing in boudoir and bridal. I found an amazing photographer that literally was just like snatched me up after my first audition with her. And I've been with her ever since. Like she literally, she's like, I can't get rid of you ever, so you can't leave. And I'm like, great. I'm not going anywhere. But and the natural progression from makeup artist was to go into doing hair. I found that there was a missed opportunity for me to get flown out to Colorado to do a wedding because I didn't know how to do updos. So I was like, bet, I got you on your next one. I'm going to be ready. So I went, enrolled. I knew exactly where I wanted to go, like what I was going to do. And when I went to cosmetology school, there wasn't a big question mark over my head about what I was going to do or anything like that. I was like narrow focused. I'm going to do my hours. I'm going to get my credits and I'm going to hit the ground running because I don't have time to figure it out as I go. So I did that. And I took every opportunity under the sun that was afforded to me. One of those was like, hey, if you want to get on Dean's List and Paul Mitchell, you have to enter Beacon. I didn't know I was going to actually be selected. And I did. And I was like, this is great. And when I went to Beacon, having the experience, like the professional experience that I had, along with my education in the beauty industry, those two forces together met like in this perfect cocktail, if you will. And then I had a completely new vision on what I was going to do and how I was going to handle being a beauty professional. If I hadn't gone to Beacon, I might be a few years behind where I am right now. And so I really honestly thank Beacon and ISSC for all of the education, everything you guys have done for me as a professional. Like, Beacon is the game changer.
So what is it about Beacon? Like you said that it changed even because you went in knowing kind of what you wanted to do, and then it sounds like Beacon even changed that a bit or expanded it, or talk about like what that was for you and why it was so important.
So the really great thing about Beacon is that it kind of created a laser focus, like where my vision was a little bit like too broad, it narrowed it down to what I can control as a beauty professional. The thing that I tell new students all the time that I meet, if I come across them or somebody's thinking about going to cosmetology school, is something that I learned from Beacon, which is show up as the professional that you want to be every single day. What does that mean? Like, you can't be 5 months into your program as a cosmetologist and be the best balayager on planet Earth. It's a technical skill. That's a skill that you have to learn and develop and work on, because as we know, to become an expert in something, you need 10,000 hours, like 10,000 working hours in that one thing, right? So for me, what that meant is be on time, be excited about what you're doing, show that excitement in everything that you do, focus on being the professional that is sellable to a client. Because from the first day that I was on the floor at the salon that I'm at right now, I have been able to build a book to where I'm booked out through next month. And as soon as I get back from maternity leave, like, people who want to get in with me, they know that they need to book before they leave. Knowing that I have a guaranteed income is something that is such a relief for me as a person who, like, in this industry, if we work, we get paid. Mm-hmm. But knowing that I've built a client base, not just based on my technical skill, but who I am as an individual, as a professional, how I treat my clients, the experience that I give them, creating a client experience that is unlike anyone else's, that right there, that's the information and the knowledge that you really don't get anywhere else but Beacon. You don't get to figure out how those pieces work and flow together until you're sitting in a room with other like-minded individuals being taught by people who've done this for 10 years, 10, 20, 30 years. And then on top of it, being able to talk to people who just took what they learned a few years ago from Beacon and applied it. So you can see, like, realistically what that timeline looks like for you to become that amazing professional. Because let's face it, even the big wigs, they mess up all the time. You don't see it on Instagram. You don't see it on Facebook. You don't see it on any platform. But they have days where their technical skills are slacking. But their soft skills, their professional skills, the skills that they teach us how to do in Beacon, those are flawless. So this is why they are as amazing as they are, because they create these amazing client experiences.
Mm-hmm. And like, for you coming into this as a second career and having all of that marketing experience behind you, what has that done for your career? Because I know we talk about you as like the marketing genius, and you are, I mean, and just the ideas alone, but how has that informed your career and made an impact?
So for the one thing that I have gathered is to really focus on what I said earlier, the client experience, which is, in marketing terms, what I call the customer journey. So how do they get from finding you to rebooking you to referring others to book with you? And knowing where to connect with that ideal client is in essence the most important thing that I carry with me from the marketing world. It's like, where's my audience? Where are the people that I need to reach that need to be in my chair? What is that void that I need to fill as an artist in order to serve my community, in order to serve my clients, and ultimately to serve my bank account? That's a big one. So with me, the thing that I also tell new students all the time is there's 3 questions that you need to be able to answer. These are 3 questions that I've asked my marketing clients, that I tell stylists, that I tell cosmetology students, all of this. If you're finding trouble finding your niche, determine who you are, what you do, and why does it matter. So earlier we talked a little bit about that creating that customer experience by being that professional. Determine who you are as a professional. Who do you want to be when you're out there on the floor? Start acting like that person when you show up to school every day. Easy. Dress nicer. Treat your clients as if they are your paying customers. Like they're not just there for you to practice on, they're there for you to like attempt to be, for you to like work through your customer journey. Oh, what did I do? Okay, no, sorry. I thought that was bad. I was like, oh, did I click off? No. Then the what do you do? That's the piece that I think is super important. Do you need to be good at everything? No, absolutely not. You do not need to be an expert at every little thing that they teach you how to do. Narrow down what it is that you really enjoy. Figure out what is missing in the industry in your area. For me, like I dove headfirst into curly hair. Like I have curly hair. It was difficult for me to find a stylist that knew how to deal with curly hair. I'm always surrounded by people who are like, I don't know, like they might have straight hair and have adopted a biracial child, or they, have straight hair and their kid has curly hair and they don't know what to do. To be able to fill that void and be able to provide them information that is not only informative, but also like, entertaining, something that they can take away and keep and hold with them. That's the importance of knowing what you do. So specialize. Figure out what you like. If you want to be a balayageur, cool. Focus all of your energy on balayages. If you get tipped out at school, take all of your tip money and invest in classes for balayage. If you want to be like me, every single extra penny that I had when I was in cosmetology school, I went to get Diva certified. It went to get trainings in other, I went to a Cosmoprof show so that I could learn from Leisa Carrillo. I was all up in Paula Peralta's DMs asking a million questions, and she's amazing, and she was answering them. I was asking all the questions of all of these curly hair specialists so that I could be the best me I could be. But that's the big thing about focusing, and specializing and finding your niche, finding your lane. That's one of those things that I learned from the corporate world. It's learn that journey, find the problem, fill the void with your services, and then track those people all the way through becoming clients. Create an experience so great for them that they tell their friends about you. And then suddenly you have constant recurring income. So it's just this big cycle that keeps going and going and going and going and going. And now, how many, I don't know a lot of people who have been out of cosmetology school for 1.5 years and are already where I'm at in my career. That's right.
Well, and that's what I loved, when you applied to be a peer mentor, and we've met and we've talked over things. But what I think is so important for students to realize is that, yes, this is possible. And to your point earlier, you said, we see all of the, life's most wonderful highlight reel on social media from everyone. So there's what I love about these conversations is we go behind that, though. And you can sit here and tell them, yeah, on my social media, you'll see all of this wonderful success that I'm having. But this is what it takes to get there. I was saving all my money and going to classes and doing all of these things. So it's possible, but you have to put the work in to do it too. It doesn't just get handed to you after you graduate cosmetology school and congratulations, here's a full book. Go service your clients.
It doesn't. It don't. But the thing that I can honestly say is by specializing, I did graduate from cosmetology school and say, congratulations, here's a full book. Because I knew what I wanted to do. I was in cosmetology school, I was assisting my now boss. So clients were already seeing my face, clients were already interacting with me. And I was learning the technique and seeing the technique being applied. After I watched the technique being applied right over and over and over again, I invested and got myself a little mannequin head and I practiced that technique over and over and over again. So now, like, I can do a blonde balayage in my sleep and maintain a curl pattern, a healthy curl pattern. Like that's something that is not an easy task to be able to do, but you put in the time, you put in the practice, you mess up in private, you can turn around and go and be successful in public, So y'all aren't going to see the 5.5 million hours that I put into a color correction, but you'll see the result, because it can get ugly and it can get messy, but you take every opportunity that you have, whether it's a paid opportunity or not, as a learning opportunity. What went well, what didn't go well, what will you do better next time? For like at least your technical skills. As long as you have your soft skills, your professional skills like on lock, and you know exactly like what those are, how you're going to handle those, and like who you are as a beauty professional, like you're golden. You're really golden.
So talk about, you also mentioned you started off as in makeup and then lost business because you couldn't do hair, and then now you have this more diverse skill set or more expanded skill set. How important has that been to you, especially now in a pandemic, to still being able to work and continuing to succeed in this world of beauty?
Wow, that's a good question. So with the pandemic, one of the issues that I faced is that a lot of my brides, which again, being so specialized, you get a very niche bride, a very specific kind of bride. For me, is the curly bride, who wants to wear her hair natural, like in her natural state, but in a different way for her wedding.
Right.
A lot of those weddings got canceled. So what did that mean? You just pivot. You just have to redirect what your focus is, and find the void. One of the big things that I love to do is I would do virtual consultations before they came in. So if I had a client who, let's say, did decide to do a quarantine cut or decided to tap into that box dye, we could work out a plan so that I had a concrete plan of action. So that when we did reopen, we know exactly what we were doing head first. No need for a pre-consultation during our appointment. And that saved me time. That gave me more time to be able to take on other clients. You have, like, for situations like this that we're in right now, you have to take that time and use that time to focus on your technical skills, and also take that time to really connect with your clients in a different way. I like to build personal relationships with my clients. I know their whole entire life story. Like, I know everything about them. I will never know which side they part their hair on, ever. But I will know exactly where they went on their last vacation. I'll know about their kids. I ask for updates on their life, because I want them to feel that when they come into my chair, they're coming to be able to relax. They're coming to me to, have a little bit of time for themselves, to feel better about themselves. So I want the entire experience to be about them. I don't talk about me unless they ask, but I want them to feel loved on and appreciated and valued as a person. A lot of my clients are moms. They were stuck in the house for months.
Please let me go to the salon. I need to have my therapy, right?
Yeah. So what do? I felt like I don't worry about what like I'm not going to ask you about what the kids are doing. Like, let's focus on building and edifying you, which is, again, it goes to that third question, is like, why? What do you do? Why does it matter? It matters because those clients are people and they have feelings, and being able to build them up is my why. My purpose. is being able to make them be able to feel good. I tell people all the time, I have the best job in the world. I get to play Barbie doll all day long and get paid for it. Literally, I'm just playing with people's hair all day, just having fun, having a grand old time, and I get paid for it. So the pandemic gave me an opportunity to focus more on technical skills and focus more on practicing my craft on doll heads, every single doll head. And even my dog almost got a balayage. Like,
if you do, that needs to be a video on Instagram for sure.
But it was, I focus on my technical skills, but I also made sure that I connected with my clients in a way that they needed it. They needed to have that human contact. They needed to know that I was thinking about them. They needed to know that I was there for them when everything went away. Like when everything opened up again, I would still be there for them. And they've shown me that gratitude when we came back. By making sure that I was consistent with my clients and how I treat my clients, what I gave came back to me tenfold. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I'm forever grateful for. So yeah, it's really, and also like, sometimes it's nice because we're, as hairstylists and beauty professionals, we don't take breaks.
Right.
We don't take time to just sit and breathe and we barely take enough breaks to have like a lunch. So, it was nice to be able to be quiet, regroup, and refocus. So I think what I've learned from the pandemic.
That's amazing, because we spend so much time taking care of everyone else and making everyone else feel good. We forget to take care of ourselves and let ourselves feel good too. Yeah, for Absolutely. Sure. So what advice do you have for students? You got to work with some this year at Beacon on site. For those that are watching who are considering applying, what advice do you have for them for their application, for their entry, for their Instagram, anything that they could do to stand out? And what, if you were evaluating applications, what would you be looking for?
Don't overthink it. Be yourself, be who you are, because in a world where there's hundreds of thousands of beauty professionals, there's only one you. And no one else can be you. Even if they tried, they can't. Your work doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely have to show your passion through what you do. Think outside the box. You don't just because everyone else's Instagrams are really pretty pictures of the back of people's heads. That doesn't need to be your Instagram feed. It's not mine. It's never mine. And don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, because that's where growth happens. Growth always happens outside of your comfort zone. One of the things that I really want you guys to understand when it comes to applying to Beacon, it will change your career, which ultimately will change your life. Nowhere else will you find a program where you can become so successful that you don't have to check your bank account anymore. That's where I'm at. Nowhere else are you going to be able to get this information and this knowledge to set you up for success, to set you up to be the type of professional that has full books, that's booked 3 months out. Nowhere else are you going to be able to connect with individuals who have that same mindset, who are going to push you to do better and work harder. It just doesn't happen. I've been to a lot of shows. I've been to a lot of trainings. I've been to trainings in the corporate world. Nothing compares to what I've learned at Beacon. Nothing at all. And I am forever grateful and forever thankful, because had it not been for those moments, and yeah, I went and I got some more technical knowledge in ISSE, but in that room with all of the other Beacon students, and then afterwards as a mentor, you feel this fire that makes you that just puts you in the mind frame oh yeah, this is my career. This is what I love to do. This is what I was meant to do. And then you make it happen. I think If you are applying to Beacon, you're already light years away from other people, because you're not seeing this as like a hobby or something that you might maybe kind of want to try out. Like, no, this isn't a fallback. If you're applying to Beacon, you already have the mentality that this is my career, this is my life, this is what's going to feed my family, this is what's going to fund my vacations, this is what's going to give me the life that I want to have, all while understanding that you are now a servant to, like, not in a bad way, but you just become the servant leader. You help people, you transform people's lives. If you're already in that mindset, and then you get the just all that amazing education that you get at Beacon, and amazing swag too.
We haven't talked about that on any of our conversations, the swag. I should have been talking about that.
The swag bags are so good. But
agreed. Our sponsors are very generous and amazing, and we're so grateful for them. And we do. I mean, we get the swag bags are so fun, and yes, so full of just. It's fun to go. It's like trick or treating for adults, basically. I just love it.
It really is. And then the Naha swag bags, bro. But I mean, you get so much good stuff that you're just not going to get anywhere else. If there's any Paul Mitchell folks out here, if you guys have done Caper, I love Caper. Caper's amazing. It is phenomenal. But Caper versus Beacon, what you get from Beacon, like, it's a game changer. It is literally, if I could pinpoint a moment of what made me think in terms, like in cosmetology school, made me think, okay, this is a trade that I'm learning, to this is my career and I'm going to be extremely successful at it. That turning point was Beacon. That's it. Because of what I've learned from Beacon, I'm going to be able to take 2 full months of maternity leave. Because of what I've learned at Beacon, I'm a homeowner. Because of what I've learned at Beacon, I have traveled all over the United States. I have clients that come to me from all over the place. I get flown out to do weddings, like, because of what I've learned at Beacon. And it has nothing to do with your technical ability and everything to do with your business acumen. When you really focus on that, and you see yourself as a business person, not just a beauty professional, but as a business person, the world changes. Your opportunities change. And the way you react to opportunities knocking at your door change. Beacon's unlike any other program that you could ever participate in, ever. And if you're thinking about it and you haven't applied yet, get on it. You want to DM me questions? Absolutely DM me questions. I'm at Really Pretty Simple. That's my Instagram handle. I know it sounds a little loopy, but it's Really Pretty Simple. One word. And talk through it with me. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to, I'm not going to do the work for you, but I will point you in the right direction, and I will tell you, this is good, let's tweak this, and then send that. Because this opportunity does not come often. This is something that you deserve and you need, and you should invest in your time and your energy and funds if required to be able to do, because it's gonna change your life if you use it and you use all the tools the right way that are presented to you. It will change your life.
Amazing. I can't think of a better way to end. I mean, I just feel like, gosh, I would want to chop up parts of the interview and put them on the website and help people but it's just amazing to see the success that happens when you put the work in. And I really love what you said at the end, that you don't see yourself only as a beauty professional, but also as a successful business person. And that is truly what we aim to do with Beacon, is that no one feels like I'm I'm just a hairstylist or just a makeup artist. I mean, because that's not what you do. We transform lives, and you have to work it as a business, and you are a business person, and that, you know, those are what we try to get across. So I'm just so excited to see you, to have you share your knowledge and expertise and just some great advice here for students thinking of applying to Beacon. And just, I hope everything goes well with the baby, and I really do hope that we can see each other in person at Beacon 2021. So yeah, just
so
can't
pumped.
wait.
My bags are already packed, girl. They're
Awesome.
ready.
Bags are packed and you've got a babysitter all lined up, right? So
we're lined up. We are good to go. We are
awesome.
out.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Well, thank you for spending part of your Monday with us. Just wishing you all the best. Really appreciate your time today, and wishing you all the best. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys. Good luck with
Bye.
Beacon.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.